Next big question we have is that which particular IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment, we are going to use for the development of our C++ program. If we search internet, we find that there are a number of C++ IDEs which can be used for the development of our C++ programs. For example, we have Eclipse IDE, we have NetBeans IDE, we have Bloodshed compilers and IDE, etc. But here we are going to use, in our programs, we shall be using CodeBlocks IDE for the development of our C++ programs. And you may download the CodeBlocks IDE from codeblocks.org website. In this website you will find a lot of information about CodeBlocks IDE, and the CodeBlocks IDE is open source, it is cross-platform, and more importantly it is free C++ IDE, and it is the integrated development environment where we find a lot of facilities, for example highlighting the syntax, auto completion of the source codes, etc. So click on the downloads link and download the binary release. Click on the first link. Now we have to select the platform for which we wish to download the CodeBlocks IDE, and as we are using Windows, so we shall select the first link, and here we have find two options are there: CodeBlocks 10.05 setup.exe and CodeBlocks 10.05 mingw setup.exe. So you may download either of the files, but it is better that you download mingw setup.exe because it is the full-fledged package, and for your simple programs you may opt for the first option, that is CodeBlocks 10.05 setup.exe, and both the files have been hosted on sourceforge.net. Click on the link. It will direct you to the sourceforge.net site, and the download option is being given to you. Now you have to select the location where you want to save the downloaded file. Select the location as per your convenience, and you may download it as anywhere in your computer. You have to remember the location where you have downloaded the file. Okay, once you download the contents, then the setup needs to be done. First of all, you have to install the CodeBlocks IDE in your computer system. For that, just click the downloaded file, and it will start the setup wizard. Click on the next link. I agree. Select all the options. Next, and don't change the destination folder. Keep it as it is, and click on the install option. Now all the files under the CodeBlocks IDE setup package, they are being extracted and are being installed in the computer. The setup of the package is to be done only once. Once you set up the CodeBlocks IDE, then it is not required to again run the setup package. You simply have to go on using the IDE. Now it is asking that do you want to run CodeBlocks now. Click on the yes option, and next and finish. Okay, so this is the CodeBlocks integrated development environment for our C++ programs. Why we are calling it integrated development environment? Because we find that there are a lot of facilities, lot of options available for us for the development of the program, starting from the composition of the program to compiling the program to make the executable files, etc. If we browse the menu bar of the CodeBlocks IDE, we find a lot of options related to some options related to projects, some build, then debug, tools, plugins, settings, etc. Don't change these settings, keep the settings as they are. For our testing purpose, what we are going to do is we simply want to create a C++ source file, and we want to compile the file, and we want to run the generated executable file. For that, you simply have to click on the file option, new, and select file. Okay, now it shall ask you that what type of files you wish to create. It may be a C++ header file, it may be a C++ source file, or it may be an empty C++ file. So let us create an empty C++ file, and if we click the go option, next, then it will ask you for the file name with full path. So it is better to create a folder. Suppose we want to create a folder, and on the desktop we want to create a folder, and name of the folder we want to give is my C++ source files. For example, this is the folder that we wish to create. Select the folder, and here we have to specify the name of the file, and name of the file we are writing is first. Okay, and click on the finish option. So if we create an empty file, what it has done is it has not appended the extension name, but that is not what we want to do. We want to create a file with the CPP extension. So close the window, and again click on the file option, new, file, click on the C++ source file, source file, and next, here it is asking that what type of source file we want to create. Do you want to write a program in C language or in C++ language? So here we shall be writing our program in C++ language. Select on the C++ option, next, and select the folder. Okay, here we want to specify the name of the file, that is first.cpp, first file, and click on the finish option. Now observe that first.cpp CPP extension has been appended by the CodeBlocks IDE, as we had selected the C++ source file. So CPP extension has been appended. Actually, CPP extension tells the compiler that it is a C++ source file. Okay, now this is the code window where we shall write our codes, and regarding when we complete our course, this code writing, then we need to compile the program, and the results of the compilation process will be flashed in this window in the build log option. Okay, now let us start with the coding part of the window, this C++ program. Okay, this is our sample program, and we just want to test it. We want to write a sample program, and as far as the case of syntax of the sample program is concerned, we shall discuss about the different programming constructs that we are going to use in our program in the coming video lessons. So this is the comment line. What is the comment line? We shall discuss later on. First C++ program. C++ program. Create it on, for example, I just want to append the date. Today is 20th of October 2012. Okay, then using namespace and std. What is namespace, std? That we shall discuss later on. And I have to write include iostream iostream, only iostream, not iostream.h, and int main. Just observe the syntax coloring. I'm not going to change. I'm not changing the colors. It is being changed automatically by the this CodeBlocks IDE automatically. Okay, and the body of the main function is to be enclosed within this curly braces. I'm just writing, or I'm just writing the left curly brace, and the matching closing curly brace of the same is appended by the CodeBlocks IDE automatically. And I'm writing cout hello world. This is my first C++ program. Okay, and here I have to append the semicolon, and finally I have to write, I'm writing here return 0. What is the meaning of the return 0? And other constructs we shall discuss later on in the coming video lessons. Okay, now I have written a sample program, simple C++ program, and next thing we have to do is we have to compile it. That is it error free? There might be some syntax errors. So how do we check that? Click on the build option, and we have compile current file, or we can select Ctrl Shift F9. If everything is according to the syntax of the C++ programming language, then it will say you that 0 errors and 0 warnings. It means our C++ program is free of syntax errors. For example, intentionally or accidentally or by mistake we have not put semicolon at the end of this statement, which actually is required. So if we compile the program, then we find that it's showing us that error expected semicolon before return. So before return it is expecting semicolon because it is required. Okay, so it's showing that there is something wrong with the, or nearer to the line number 7. So automatically these line numbers have been appended by the CodeBlocks IDE, and these line numbers are of great help, because if the size of the program is small, then we can trace or we can count the lines and we can find out the error. But as the size of the program grows, then it becomes extremely difficult for us to trace the errors. First of all, we have to find the particular line number where the line has this error has occurred, then we have to trace the errors. So if automatically the line numbers are appended by the CodeBlocks IDE, it is of great help for us. So we are writing a semicolon. Okay, we are writing semicolon. Then again, if we compile the program, then our program is free of errors, 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay, now let us observe, let us see that this source file, that is first.cpp file, has been saved in a folder, namely my C++ source files. Okay, next thing we have to do is we have to build the program. Means if our program is error free, then accordingly we have to convert the source codes or these lines of codes into the machine codes, for which we are taking the facility of the compiler, help of the compiler. So for that we need to click on the option build or control F9. Okay, now the file has been created, the executable file has been created. How do we check that? We have to select the folder where the source file has been saved, and we had created a file. Name of the file is first, and it is a C++ source file. It is showing that it is C++ source file, and the size of the file is approximately 1 KB. And a file, namely first.o, which is an object file, has been created by the compiler, and its size is 2 KB. Now an application file, namely first.exe, we can check if it is an executable file. Right click on the file and click its properties. Then if we find that type of file, it is an executable file. It means compiler has generated the executable file, and see the size, it is of 888 KB. It means along with the source code instructions, certain runtime instructions or coding has been appended by the compiler to produce the final product, that is this executable file. Okay, now we have to run the program. We have to see if it is performing the task or not, for which the program has been designed. You simply click on the run option, and okay, and you find that hello world, this is my first C++ program. This message is displayed on the screen along with other parameters, that how much time it took to run the program, etc. So in this video lesson, what we have observed is that how we can download the C++ IDE, that is CodeBlocks IDE, how we install it, and how do we write a simple C++ program, and after writing the program, how do we check it for syntax errors by selecting the compile option, and how we can run the program. In the coming video lessons, we shall discuss about the different programming constructs in greater depth.